Next, I'd like to introduce Desmond Choo. Desmond, at 33, is the youngest of our three candidates that we're introducing today. Since May 2011, Desmond has been serving as the Deputy Director of the Youth Development Unit in NTUC. He's also the Executive Secretary of the Union of Security Employees and serves with the Singapore Port Workers Union. Before joining NTUC in May 2010, Desmond served in the Singapore Police Force for 13 years. He was the commanding officer of Woodlands NPC and also was the head of the Special Investigations Section in CID. His last held position in the police force was as a Deputy Division Commander of the Clementi Police Division. He also spent 2 years in the Ministry of Manpower working on foreign workforce policies. Desmond was appointed as the second advisor to Hokang grassroots organizations in February 2011. Prior to that, he had helped in Marsiling and Tampines East constituencies. He has a deep interest in helping people, particularly the disadvantaged, and in his time in Hokang, he has helped to set up a healthcare scheme to benefit poor residents. In addition, he serves with the CDAC and Xingming Primary School Advisory Committee. Desmond studied in Catholic High School and National Junior College. He was awarded the Singapore Police Force Overseas Merit Scholarship in 1997 to study economics at the University of Chicago. He is still single. He will be getting married in July 2011. And I now invite Desmond to say a few words about himself.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I thought I would share some stuff information that has been embargoed so far only to my fiancée. And many of you just have been asking since the day I appeared at the convention. So today I thought I would share. And there was a question about why I actually left NTUC. I left police to join NTUC. And of course, that question, like, why do you join politics? So I thought maybe today would be a right time to do so. It may sound cliche, but really I grew up in an average middle-class family, mom, dad, and sister 3 years younger. Now, we really had our ups and downs, which made me realize from a very early age that not to take things for granted. Now, back when I was in primary school and secondary school, my dad we're doing okay. He had a thriving antique business in Hong Kong. We're doing okay. And of all of a sudden, 3 years into the business suddenly failed because he was cheated of his money. And we were plunged into financial crisis. From being able to travel to Hong Kong every year to see him, suddenly we had problems getting money, getting pocket money, really being able to go to school. What touched me then was a couple of times. We were staying in a mansionette back then, and you hear dad and mom talking about, hey, when's the next $100 going to come from? We have bills to pay and stuff like that. Dad has to borrow money just to keep food on the table. To me, back then, that was life-changing because to a parent, to a family, nothing beats more than keeping the food on the table and giving us the best that he could. So that was the first changing point that I had. And I realized that I'm not alone because maybe I track disasters and tragedies, but I do happen to know a few families like the same as me. I was like, wow, now I can finally understand why people say that I can stay in a mansionette and yet be poor. Because we moved from a mansionette to a 5-room flat, then to a 3-room, and then back to a 4-room, where now we stayed for the last 15 years. So one day I was in Catholic high school, at the grandstand, I was staring out there, I was like, hey, if somebody would offer me help then, without my parents having to go out and look for them, wouldn't that be wonderful? So I make a little pact with God back then that if any of my classmates were to need help, you'll never be able to get that away from me. And I'll give them that. And I still remember this kid I give $20 to and he never paid me back, but that's all right. You know, I did my part. So till today, what has gotten me through this process is that no one should be left behind, regardless of the financial situation. No one kid should be denied a good education because his family has no financial means. And that we must always be prepared to look out for cases whereby people get plunged into sudden financial crisis. There will be cracks in the system. No one policy is perfect. Our business failed when we were having thriving economic times, but we were still poor then. So there will be families like this. People will get left behind. It is what we do for them that is important. And now, being the Executive Secretary of the Union of Security Employees, my battle against helping the poorer people has not stopped. Why now? Because my dad is a security officer. So every night I come home, he'll tell me the problems facing the industry, how tough is it to do a hard 12-hour shift. And well, we might have raised the wage from $800 to $1,200 to $1,500 now, but life is tough. And you still see a lot of old folks doing those jobs. We have to do better. I will do more to make sure that these people, my workers, continue to get more out of their work, more of their employment. Now, you hear a fair bit of my history, and there's my personal mantra, which is really that no one must be left behind. And wherever I go, I'm there to serve first and foremost before anything else. I'll just take you through slightly in Chinese. 谢谢大家今天的到来。我的中文虽然讲得不太好，可是说还要这边很多中文的媒体在我离开警队的时候，很多朋友都问我，为什么你要离开警队？还有你为何要参加这个，还要从政？其实这个到至今呢，就我的未婚妻知道。其实呢，在我参加警队的时候，我在离开这边不远的雾洛警局刚当那个调查官的时候呢，曾经有一个案子，我的上司说，这个案子比较棘手，你去办。我说什么案子这样棘手？他说这个差不多40来岁的男子，他已经犯了差不多6、7宗偷窃案。但我心里想，这个不会很难办嘛？为什么会这样呢？我听到，我去看他的案例，我说这个屡次犯法的这种枉法之徒，应该就严厉处置他。直到我去看他的报告的时候，我才发觉，原来他每次偷的都是奶粉、婴儿用品。因为呢，他家里有3个小孩子，就是说，可能他背后还有一点故事，所以我就进一步的跟他了解一下。我记得我跟他谈的时候，跟我说，我真的是走投无路，因为我学历浅，我有前科，我怎样找一个适当的工作？可能真的是入狱会会减轻我的家里的负担。虽然我至今都不会认同他这种消极的看法，可是往往我们对人处事不是要看表面，要为周围较不幸的国人来说，我们要用心去聆听，用心去感觉，帮助他们需要全面的，不只是说单方面。你现在犯了法，我帮你入狱，再帮你改造一下，但是不行的。他出狱之后还是会重犯，所以这也成为了我从政或者如果被当选为议员之后我的指标。谢谢大家。